Hey everybody, Michael here. It is Thursday, June 9th, 2022, and this is our weekly update. So right off the bat, I want to apologize for missing several weeks worth of weekly updates. I was actually on vacation for a week, and then I got sick, and then I spent about a week just kind of recovering and catching up with all the various projects, particularly the new book that I'm working on and everything going on in the background with that, which I will talk about very, very shortly. But first, let's catch up on what I've been reading. So I mentioned in my weekly Patreon newsletter that I send out to those folks over there, as well as on some of my Facebook lives over the last couple weeks, that I've been actually having a little bit of trouble getting into and staying focused with a novel. So for a couple weeks there, I was just kind of reading some short stories. I was reading The Long December, which is a short story collection by Richard Chismar that's been on my Kindle for a while, and I always kind of just jump back to it whenever I need a couple of short stories to read to kind of reset and recalibrate. And then when I finished reading some of those stories, I jumped over to Scribd or Scribd. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce that service's name, but they have actually just released an exclusive short story from Stephen King called Finn. So I jumped over there and actually signed up for the free trial because I'm not a member of that service. I grabbed that new short story. It's available in ebook and audiobook, actually. I just got the ebook. I read it. It's a very short story. I read it in just one very quick setting, and it was okay. You know, Stephen King has written some fantastic short stories and has some amazing short stories collections. This one is just nothing that I don't think I'd ever read again. But anyway, it's out there if you guys want to check it out. It's called Finn, and it's over on Scribd or Scribd, however you say that. And over the last few weeks, I have watched a handful of films, and to be completely honest with you, I did not really enjoy any of them. Some of them I didn't like at all. Some of them just really did not meet my expectations as to what I thought they were going to be. So instead of speaking negatively about them, I'm just going to skip over this section and jump into the cool thing, the really exciting news that I have. So over the course of the last week, I have been revealing and releasing information about my new book. I started with my Patreon members and then some Facebook groups, and then sent out a newsletter just yesterday to my newsletter subscribers with the cover reveal and the title reveal of my brand new haunted house novel, which is going to be called The End House. So first off, huge shout out to my good friend Jason for making this awesome cover. I think it looks just incredibly amazing and badass, and everybody that has seen it online has basically said the same thing. So thanks, Jason. And the second thing is I am doing something very different with publishing this novel than I have any of my work in the past. For the very first time, I'm going to be utilizing a Kickstarter campaign to not only generate interest around this book, but also give people a lot of different options to pick and choose the type of formats they want with no restrictions. And I'm also going to be offering some really cool digital extras and behind the scenes content to backers if they want to check that out as well. So the Kickstarter campaign is actually launching this coming Tuesday, the 14th of June. There's a link down in the description below. Check that out. You can hit that notify button so Kickstarter will notify you as soon as it's available, and you can also use that link to check out the campaign once it does actually launch next week. I'm pretty excited about this. I've seen some authors that have done some really fun and interesting things over on Kickstarter, so I really wanted to kind of experiment with it myself, see how the whole system works, and if this works out well for The End House, I have some really fun and I think cool ideas for what I can do going forward, specifically if I use Kickstarter to continue some of my series, specifically the Lance Brody series. So I'm pretty excited about that, and some of you guys might be too. Anyway guys, that is it for this week's update. I will have more information about the Kickstarter campaign next week after it launches, so until then, check that link out below, share it with any of your friends who maybe might be looking for a new haunted house novel to read, and I'll talk to you next week.